human self presents to me many challenges that burden me. My heart center shines and calls to me. This is who I choose to be. Sometimes lessons.
Welcome to the Vibrational Alchemy Podcast. This is Penny Fisher, and we are so glad you are joining us for this week's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Are you ready? Are you ready to meet another one of these beautiful divine feminine archangels? We've connected with Archangel Faith. We've connected with Archangel Christine Clarity. Last week, we got to connect with Archangel Charity Grace. She's still humming and buzzing around in my field. It's such a gift. And this week, we get to connect with Archangel Hope and her beautiful consort, her partner in crime, the flip side of the angelic coin, her divine feminine masculine partner, Archangel Gabriel. So, as we have done the last few weeks, I'll start with a super quick recap about angels and who they are. If you want more information, I go into a much deeper dive in episode 49. So you can check that out and get a lot more information there. We'll do a light touch on what the 7 sacred rays are, and then we will get right into it with Archangels Gabriel and Hope, these beautiful angels of the 3rd ray, the ray of the white light of ascension. So angels, very quickly, my darlings, are these beautiful beings that are messengers of God, messengers of source energy, bringing the energy of unconditional love, unlimited power for love, infinite wisdom and knowledge of love to all of us here as we make our way through our human journeys. Our beautiful angels and archangels are 100% non-denominational, right? They can be found in pretty much every religious framework that's out there. And many people that I know who really are not functioning or have never functioned inside a religious framework still have beautiful and powerful relationships with the angels and the archangels. Angels and archangels do not have gendered identities. They are neither male nor female. That being said, they absolutely hold the energies that we attribute to the divine masculine, which is all about movement and action and doing, and the divine feminine, which is all about creativity and flow and gathering and gestation and birth. So the best way that I can describe this, and that I've heard it described, is to think about a coin. One side of the coin is heads, the other is tails, but it's still a coin. So in the same way, an angelic being has an aspect that's masculine, divine masculine, an aspect that's divine feminine, and yet they still remain the essence of their angelic selves. Interestingly, just like us as humans, we all carry both that masculine and feminine energy. And this series, my darlings, is about meeting the archangels of the 7 sacred rays or 7 sacred flames. And the best way that I can explain that to you is the way that my guides shared it with me, oh gosh, quite a while ago. Source energy, pure love, and pure light wanted to know itself. So Source sent itself through the prism of creation. And just as when light flows through a prism or a crystal, this light of Source that was Source, that is Source, refracted into rays of many different colors. We know the 7 sacred rays and those colors well, but I do want to share that both my guides have told me, and I have read and heard from others whom I trust, that the time is coming when are going to get to know and become familiar with many, many other colors that were the result of this refraction of Source energy as it passed through the prism of creation. So the ray that we want to talk about today is the 4th ray. This ray is the ascension ray or the ascension flame, and is most often associated with, let me just make sure, yes, purification, resurrection, and hope. And when I talk about resurrection, I'm not talking about necessarily the act that we're most familiar with in terms of Jesus, crucifixion, death, and resurrection, but resurrection writ large, the rising again of our memories of who we truly are as divine beings, as aspect of Source, in whatever way you experience Source. And that return to oneness is another one of the vibrational resonances, the energetics of this particular ray. The embodiment of the Christ consciousness, again, Christ consciousness, unconditional love. That's what I'm referring to. It holds the support that we need, this ray, to help us come into balance, balancing those qualities of divine feminine and divine masculine that we just talked about, in order to fully embody this fully integrated experience of unconditional love. All right, so that's what this beautiful ray is about. The chakra, the corresponding chakra, is actually the root chakra, which is kind of interesting since the color associated with this ray is white. And stones and crystals that are associated with this ray are white or clear quartz, Herkimer diamond, orange calcite, jasper, citrine. And the archangels, as we said before, of this 4th ray are Archangels Gabriel and Hope. And there is a beautiful quote from Wistancia Stone. She's got a book called Invocations to the Light. And I loved this description. I forgot it was in the book. It just kind of popped out at me. So I'd like to share it with you as we start. The archangels of the 4th ray serve humankind by helping restore latent memories and power. They hold a divine concept for each individual and his or her or their divine plan, as well as the divine plan for Earth. They stimulate feelings to the outer consciousness of humankind in the hope of awakening each one's Christed self. They assist us in raising our consciousness back to higher awareness and help us resurrect our spiritual gifts. Calling on these archangelic energies assists us in reacquainting ourselves with who we truly are. They can be called upon when our intention is to restore ourselves, renew ourselves, and resurrect ourselves into the divine blueprint of our higher identities as divine humans. How yummy is that? So let's meet these beautiful archangels. Let's first talk about Archangel Gabriel. And I always pause before I say that because I have always referred to and experienced Archangel Gabriel as Archangel Gabriel. And I think it's so beautiful, an array that talks about finding balance and coming back into inner balance in order to integrate all aspects of self, that we have an archangel that can very much be experienced as either divine masculine or divine feminine energy, right? Merging the dualities. The name of this angel means God is my strength. And it takes tremendous strength to stay in a place of balance, in a place of centeredness, in a place of alignment with our divine selves, as we allow the exploration of divine masculine and divine feminine within us and bring them into alignment. And this is part of Archangel Gabriel's superpower. He helps us build muscle and build our capacity to hold the vibration, the unbelievably high vibration of unconditional love that we are moving closer and closer toward on our ascension pathway as we more and more deeply acknowledge who we truly are and what we truly are. There's another beautiful book by Stuart Pearce called The Angels of Atlantis. And check out what he says about Archangel Gabriel. He says, the supernal message of Gabriel's spirit brings forth the direct content of God's love, awakening the soul, overshadowing one's life with divine luminosity, and pouring light into all actions which shine creativity into existence. Ah, so we're building muscle just as if you were training to run a race or getting ready to go on a hike up Mount Shasta or Machu Picchu. We need to do the work of increasing our ability and our capacity to hold this high vibration. And Archangel Gabriel is there to help us with that through the gift of this strength. Many of us know Archangel Gabriel as the messenger of God, right? This was the archangel who announced in the Bible, in the New Testament of the Christian Bible, announced to Elizabeth and Mary that they were going to have sons, right? John the Baptist and Jesus, or Yeshua. He shared the news about Christ's resurrection with the disciples and is said to have actually dictated the Quran to Muhammad. So this is an archangel who has brought the gift of language to the energy of love, communicating it back to humans so that we can access it in our human form. And because of this, Archangel Gabriel is very much known to be an angel who facilitates communication. Now, when we think about communicating, we most often think about our thoughts flowing out into the world. And yet, one of the most profound and beautiful gifts that Archangel Gabriel offers us is a purification, a sharpening, and a, a clarifying of our communication with ourselves, not just our human selves, but with our higher selves, with our soul presence, with our divine I am presence, and then ultimately with Source. This is an angel who will open and amplify those pathways of communication so that we can experience complete, infinite, unlimited access to source energy. And all we need to do is connect, turn on the hose, and Archangel Gabriel will help us to do that. Archangel Gabriel's divine feminine partner is Archangel Hope. And I have to share this with you because it was just so cool. When I first started connecting with these divine feminine archangels, as I was getting ready to teach a class, a 10-week course on the archangels of the seven sacred rays, Archangel Hope presented herself as I was preparing for this particular session. And she did so. I'm sorry, I have to laugh. She kept showing me this image of a seesaw. Now, I had never worked with this being before. I didn't know her energy. I hadn't read anything about her, right? That was a rule for myself. I didn't read about these archangels until I had experienced them myself and established a connection. So I'm like, what is going on with the seesaw? And here's what she shared with me. She shared with me that she represents the place. She called it a fulcrum point. This center point where opposing forces like light and darkness, like fear and love, like judgment and compassion, can come together in complete balance. And when there is complete balance, there is the potential for an alchemical process that allows these two seemingly opposing forces to merge and to become one. So duality's out the window. There's just, we don't need duality anymore. So it was interesting as I was doing some reading after Archangel Hope had started sharing this with me, I came across this quote in a book called The Mystical Kabbalah by Dion Fortune. And she talks about this merging of opposing forces through the lens of the tree of life. Check this out. She says, there can be no new development save the combining of combinations among themselves. The next phase of development is for these units to combine into more complex structures. When this occurs, a new and more highly organized phase of existence begins. All that has already been evolved remains, but that which evolves now is more than the sum of the previously existing parts, for new capacities come into being. And that, my darlings, is where we're heading. As we make our way along the ascension pathway, as we remember and own and acknowledge more and more that we are aspects of God, source, creator, creatrix, all that is, having a human experience, we become more than the sum of our pre-existing dualities. We become more than light and dark. We become more than fear and love. We become more than divine masculine and divine feminine. And Archangel Hope is here to do exactly what her name tells us she's going to do. She gives us hope. She will show you the possibility, the potential for you to come into balance. Think about how you feel when something happens in your life that knocks you for a complete loop. Right? Maybe you're in a relationship and there are problems, but you think everything's going fine. And then your partner just says, I don't want to do this anymore. Or you're called into your boss's office one day and out of the blue told that you're being let go. We are out of balance. Archangel Hope reminds us that through the power of self-love, we can come back into balance. We can release our attachment to the things we thought should be happening in the ways that we thought they should happen. And we can step into a flow where we allow love, where we choose only love. The Oxford Dictionary defines hope this way: a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. So pause here for a minute, darlings, and think about all the things that you hope for: peace, healthy oceans. You hope for your own experience of love and abundance, for connection with others, for joy, for pleasure. And yet we get caught up in these realities, or these seeming realities. And when we contract, when we find ourselves out of balance, that vibration is what flows out into the world, and it brings us things that are not in alignment with what we hope for. Hope is here to remind us that we have the potential, when we stay in the place of pure, open-hearted connection to source energy, that we have the ability to truly bring heaven to earth simply by being love. She offers us her love, her optimism, and her complete faith, her knowing that we are able to bring ourselves back into balance, into alignment with love. And from here, not only can we live our lives with more balance and ease, we can live our lives in a way that shines a light and allows us to be a beacon of hope, I guess is the best way I can put it. To be a beacon of hope to people who are lost, who are stuck in judgment or anger or fear, who can't see a way past that reality in their lives. She offers us the light that leads us back into balance. And I'd like to finish up today by offering you a message that Archangel Hope has shared with me for each and every one of you. So as always, if you are driving or walking or doing something that requires your undivided attention, I invite you at this point to pause the recording and return to it later, or just let it flow over you and then come back to it later when you can really sink into the energy of it. I want you always to be safe. All right, my darlings, so settle in, get comfy, and bring your attention to your breath flowing in and out of your nose. Allow the inhale to deepen and the exhale to lengthen. Feel what you no longer need starting to just gently flow away from you and into the earth. Allow yourself to sink more deeply into your chair, your couch, your bed, the floor, wherever you're resting. And let your next few breaths draw you deeper and deeper down into your heart, into your sacred heart chamber. And just rest here for a moment. And as you do, you notice a beautiful portal, a spinning opening of pure diamond light. Invite that light to flow into your heart chamber where you rest now. This is the diamond light of unconditional love that flows from the cosmic heart through the cosmic matrix. As it floods into your chamber, allow it to infuse you. Feel it soaking in through your skin, entering you on your breath. Beautiful. And let it just seep into every part of your being. Notice if it wants to concentrate in one place more than another, or maybe it just wants to flow everywhere. Beautiful. As you rest, you notice in front of you all the particles of white light, the pure white light, begin to coalesce from the light of the diamond, light of the matrix. This white light grows and pulses in front of you. And you can feel the energy of Archangel Hope. Trust whatever it is that you experience now as she presents herself to you with joy, with love. You may see her as a person, as an image, as pure light. You may experience her as a feeling or a knowing. It doesn't matter. And as you connect with this white light of Archangel Hope, she shares this message for each of you. Hope exists at the fulcrum, the balance point between seemingly disparate realities, light and darkness, compassion and judgment, love and fear. Take a moment and picture a seesaw. When you come into balance, you enter a space of stillness. Think about that seesaw. When it is in perfect balance, it rests as if by magic in a position of perfect horizontal harmony. You, dear ones, are the magic that brings balance into your lives. And you do this by coming into stillness. Let us speak more about this. Have you ever experienced that which you call a walking meditation? When you slow your movement down, you are able to sense the stillness, the moment of potential, the complete balance that exists in the space between spaces. So you see, even within movement, there is stillness. Consider the beating of your beautiful heart. There is a pause between contraction and expansion. Or your breath as it flows in and out of your body, the tiniest and almost imperceptible stillness exists, bringing balance. When we develop the wisdom to recognize the stillness, the skill to sense its presence, We can come back to that fulcrum point with more and more ease. Your human experience has been presented to you through duality. You know light by experiencing darkness, compassion through judgment, love through fear. Yet as you prepare to shift into higher and more refined states of consciousness, the experience of duality becomes more of a reminder of where you are heading, a guidepost of possibilities rather than a reality within which you must exist. This is because you are able now to access the stillness through balance with more ease. It becomes your new reality. From this place, you experience opposing forces without attachment, and you are able to rest in pure awareness, accessing unconditional love, for love is the fulcrum, the balance point that you seek. And I bring you this message of hope. That which you long for, yearn for, believe you must work toward is already within you, waiting to be remembered back into the wholeness of you. My hope is as the awakening of long dormant memories, the place where dreams and realities coincide as you recognize that they are but one within your template of divine perfection. Hope is now not about what could be or might be, but about the unlimited potentiality of the merging of these opposing forces within you to bring about balance. So rest in this message of hope. Hear these words of strength and comfort from my beloved Gabrielle and from me, and feel the reality of balance through love as you invite us into your sacred space. We see you. We honor you. We shower you with our gratitude and love. And we are here for you always and in all ways. I am Archangel Hope, and it is so. And Archangel Hope wants you to know that the more you connect with her, the more you call out to her, the more she will be there for you. The more she will assist you in coming into balance, the more she will strengthen the light within you that leads you back to that fulcrum point, to self-love, to the knowledge that you are one with the divine. I want to leave you with this beautiful invocation again from Wistancia Stone. We call upon Gabrielle and Hope to assist us in regaining our power and glory and releasing old patterns that no longer serve us. These archangels hold the resurrection flame and restore hope to the aspiring master. Call upon these great ones when hope and renewal are needed to harmonize your life's vision. I am, as always, my darlings, beyond grateful for your presence, for joining me for this amazing episode, for getting to know these beautiful archangels, and for accepting the gift of hope into your lives. I am Penny Starhart. This has been the Vibrational Alchemy Podcast. And until we are together again, remember that you are loved and you are love.
This is who I